Welcome to the Chain Out podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 115 of Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Daryl and Jeremy. Something's different again, Daryl.
And you keep leaving me.
I do. I think, people might be able to tell that we're on a break this week.
Yes.
We have kind of, I don't know if they've seen our Facebook status, the Jeremy Daryl Facebook status.
Yeah.
But it's complicated. So
yeah, there's only so much of you I can put up with.
And that so much is about this much. So, yeah, I'm down in Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas area. Daryl, you're holding down the fort in the podcast studio. I'm down here. I was hoping to get a round of disc golf in this week, and it might happen tomorrow. There's a slim chance, but it sure felt a lot like Edmonton when I came down on Sunday. Snow, ice, just around freezing temperatures. I didn't expect that in the south of the United States.
Right.
But then it rained yesterday, and I realized it's nothing like Edmonton.
Did it kind of like melt all the snow and wash it all away, or did it freeze and ice over?
Can I choose D? All of the above. How's the chat looking tonight?
Oh, you know what? It's bumping tonight. It's bumping in here, as Sam said the other night. Sonja is in the chat. More on that later. Doc is in the chat. We've got Dina, Mike joining us again. Hi, Mike. Rudy Grinicki. That's a new one. Hi, how are you doing? In here supporting Sonja?
I think I see Rude Girl Nikki there, my friend.
Oh, is it Rude Girl? Okay, sorry, I apologize. I need Rude Girl Nikki. My glasses are not working. Anyway, Dina, Sam, Judy's in the chat. Chris Finlayson's in the chat as well. Josh is in the chat as well. Hi, Josh. All the regulars, everyone's in there. It's that busy tonight. I'm having to scroll back so far just to get to the end of the beginning of the chat, should I say.
Well, Daryl, for our people who've been listening for a long time, we've always joked about the romper room side of things. I think we're going to need to get ourselves a romper room chain out mirror.
It's a good thing and a bad thing, right? In the beginning, it was like, who's in the chat? Well, we've got Dylan and we've got Sam. Hi, how are you doing? Now it's to a point where it's like, you know what? If I missed your name, I apologize. It's a good problem to have, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got going on tonight?
You know what, Jeremy? I think the reason why it's bumping in here is because we've got a great episode for you tonight. Do you have fond memories of summer camp?
I do. I certainly do.
Yeah, I never went. But what if you could go to a disc golf summer camp?
Wow.
Yeah. We'll be chatting to 3 people who did that just last year, including the hero of the Chumps versus Champs 17. All 3 of these guests will be joining us in about 15 minutes.
All right. Well, that means we got a bit of a top of show to get through, doesn't it?
We've always got a bit of a top of show.
I love our top of show. I'll tell you, I do. And why don't we start with the fact that winter programming has started in Edmonton, and our own Daryl, the crazy co-host, technical genius, wizard, all of the things that he is actually taking the lead for our putting league this year. So how did the first week go, Daryl?
I will say, I'll give it credit where credit's due. It's shared putting league. It's
okay.
Yeah, Mark, friend of the show. Mark is also running it as well. First week, Brock showed up just to kind of give us the reins, show us what to walk through. But yeah, we went to Footfield, new location for us. The area is a good space. We had a good turnout, more baskets than we needed, which is also a good thing as well. We need to work on making sure people know where the traffic is and make sure they don't get hit by discs, but hopefully that'll be figured out. Yeah, it's kind of a side area where we're in, and people just feel like they can walk up and down there and don't realize that we're throwing frisbees. So hopefully that won't be an issue for next week. I'm going to bring a sandwich board to make sure that there's no entry, and just to protect people, basically. But
Are they going to wear it as they walk back and forth, or what do you want to do with that sandwich board?
I mean, that's what I was doing this week. I wasn't participating, but I was down at the bottom end and, kind of being like the bouncer, making sure to check over my shoulder. If your name's not down, you're not getting in. That's what I always say. But that was
Good
the
stuff.
putting league. We also have the first session of the winter lessons going on as well. Now, if you don't know, friend of the show, it seems like everyone's a friend of this show, Jeremy. Gabe Piska, he's the instructor, and I think he's instructing now for either his third or a fourth year. I haven't exactly heard how the event is going on. I haven't participated in the lessons. I know you were supposed to, and maybe you'll get to one a little bit later. But yeah, if Gabe's running the show, we've got the whole of Footfield to throw across. I'm sure it was a great event. There is still time and there is still room to join up for both programs. Just have to contact Edgar, go on the Edgar website, click on the links, and you'll be able to sign up there. I'm just looking at the chat here. I want to know if any of our listeners are participating in any putting league, not just the Edgar one. If there's anybody doing a putting league from anywhere else. It's that time of year, right? You got to get your putting in.
Yeah, and I wonder too how they're doing. Are they? Because I know in Alberta, we know that BR Disc Golf sponsors the Alberta putting challenge, and I know people want to see their ratings. I think I saw it in our Discord, our Alberta Big Putt. And I saw it in the Discord that some people are already wanting to see where they stand. So a lot of people interested this year.
Yeah. Sam says he's always disappointed to find out that sandwich boards don't actually involve sandwiches.
There you go.
Yeah. Dina says that she should send us some pictures of her putting league. It's at the brewery.
Oh, I think we need a trip out to Winnipeg.
Yeah. Why have a putting league when you can be at the course playing instead? Well.
Oh, yeah. True facts.
Yeah.
Well, what do we think? Are we going to do some tournament reviews too, or are we not quite there yet?
No, we can do tournament reviews. I finished in the chat here. So before we get to the tournament reviews, we want to let you know that early registrations have opened up for a number of tournaments, including Canadian Nationals.
That's true. That's exciting that they've opened up.
Yeah. So they're at the sponsorship tour. Sorry, not the sponsorship tour. They're at the sponsorship tier. And we've already looked and we see some names that have already signed up from people that we know. Drew Biet is on the list. Chris Hartman.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on
there.
So
we're starting to get some names we know already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
February is a month of registration, so be sure to follow your favorite tournaments on Disc Golf Scene. You know how to do that. Click the follow button on the tournament, and then you'll get notifications whenever they put out a new update. That way, you won't miss out.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few tournaments I'm following here, but then the next part of that, Daryl, I think, is that then you have to actually check your emails, because
that is true.
It doesn't help me if I don't check the emails that I'm for the tournaments I'm following, but I'll work on that. I'm going to work on that.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the tournaments. We've got a few to get through, and we got a few that we want to update everybody on, including one that we chatted about a couple of weeks ago when we had Carver Whitford on.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about that indoor putting tournament that was hosted by the Kelowna Disc Golf Club. And what was cool about it was held indoors at a local recreation center, in the hallways, in the gymnasium, in the weight room, even in the swimming pool. Yeah. So Charlie reached out to me. I had asked him if he'd give me an update. It just came back recently. I actually missed it in the inbox. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. So he said this was their biggest year yet. They had 66 participants in 6 divisions. He wanted to, of course, shout out and thank the local business that supported it, called Just for Fun. They sponsored the tournament, and they really leveled the event up this year. So they had a whole bunch of Mandos in play, where there was layouts where if you missed that Mando, automatic stroke. You didn't have any chance. And then he said we talked about this with Carver, but there were pool holes, not hole. There were pool holes. And one of them was a floating island. Carver told us about that one. And the way it worked was if you got it in, you got the ace. If you missed, automatic 3. You were 2 strokes behind somebody who put that one in. So let's, I just was going to shout them out by first name, but congrats to the winners of the divisions. We had Amy, Rocky, Desta, Paula, Ari, and Travis. And Rocky ended up taking down the MPO division over Carver by just 2 strokes. So thinking about everything we just talked about, do you think it was the 2 strokes where Carver missed the island and Rocky got it in? That was that one
2-stroke swing. Yeah. Could have been.
That could have been it.
Yeah.
But I really do think, Daryl, that like other rec centers, I've got one out in my town. Everybody, I think, at these days has one. It's a
Yeah.
great way in the cold and in the winter to bring disc golf to the public.
Yeah. I don't know, are you renting the whole gym, whole recreation area?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or maybe you do it at a time where it's slower, like first thing in the morning or late at
Yeah,
night.
maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's something definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get on to the next tournament that we're going to talk about. This one, we're gonna mention an ice bowl event. Have you heard of those, Jeremy?
I have heard of those.
Yeah. Well, this one was held in Dawson City, Yukon. You've been up there, right? You've been up to the Yukon?
I actually have, but I got to go up there at the right time of year. I went up there on the longest day of the year.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of June. So, and Daryl, it's far up north.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm talking about, you get on a plane, you fly for a couple hours from Edmonton to Whitehorse, and then you okay, yeah, well, I'm in the Yukon now. I should be good. No. Hop on another plane, fly another hour north, and then maybe you'll be at Dawson.
Wow. Well, we heard back from Paul, who's the tournament director. He's also the town's recreation manager. So he said the event was a success, but they were surprised we were surprised that they were disappointed about the weather. It was only minus 15.
Oh, that seems pretty balmy. I think I could handle minus 15. That feels ice bowl-ish enough for me.
Right? Yeah, no. Last year they played and it was minus 46.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine that? And there was some they were gluttons for punishment who they wanted to play in the cold. Why they would do that, I don't know. Maybe it just adds to the event, right? But believe it or not, they not 15 Fahrenheit, that's Celsius, Doc. They had 25 players sign up, including 10 juniors, and there was even an over 70-year-old player to come out and play the course as well. That's crazy.
Okay.
The course was Crocus Bluff. Congratulations to the winners. So we got Spruce, Ethan, and Nick. Now, beyond all of that, they had a great time. They were out there for the weekend. They survived the quote-unquote cold. But beyond all of that, they managed to raise $520 for the local food bank. And I got to say, that's pretty impressive for just 25 players.
Yeah, I didn't do the math on it. I didn't divide it out, but that's a good amount per person.
Yeah.
And that's really what those ice bowls are all about. When they first started, they were all about raising money for the food banks and recognizing that it's cold out there. And that's a time that the food banks could really use the help. So good job on Dawson. And I'll tell you, when Paul reached back out to me too, he said, maybe you can get up here again and bring Daryl with you this time. So we got another place on our list of places to go.
Just add it to the list.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, normally at this point, we would do a little bit of a recap of the Pro Tour, and we would go down to the Tour Down Under, but they had a week off. So why don't we recap another Canadian tournament?
Sounds good to me.
All right. The Scarlet Woods Open took place in Toronto, Ontario, and that was hosted by Ezra Hauser.
Okay.
So this is one of those winter-only courses that happens on a bowl golf course. So it was a one-day, 2-round event. 51 people turned out for this event to battle the snow. Now, if you didn't know, because I didn't, but Ontario got dumped on the weekend before. So they had more snow. Get this. They had more snow in one day than they've seen in 88 years.
Wow. I think that, and being that I'm looking at this too, is don't interpret that wrong. That was the most snow in one day out of 88 years. It's not like all the snow they've ever had in 88 years.
No, the most snow they've had in one day. Yeah.
Could you imagine the other one? That'd be crazy.
Exactly, right? So 51 players showed up. They played color divisions for this event. I know I've played one of those before. That's a great way to play. So let's give a shout out.
Did you play one of those before, or did maybe you win one of those before?
Well, I played it. I don't like to harp on about it, but yeah, I won. So they played the color division. So let's give a shout out to the winners. So James, Kai, Max, Mike, Jonathan, and Jeffrey they all won their divisions. Now, scanning the results, another friend of the show, Tobin Isat, was there as well. But let's
Yeah,
maybe
he
not.
made an appearance. He wasn't in the winning list,
No,
but
exactly.
I think you know what they say is if you don't win, you want to have fun, and it looked like he had fun.
So just to give a bit of an update on this, we got Sean Galbraith in the chat here, and he says 51 people started, maybe 45 people finished, maybe less.
Oh, so I guess we should ask Shawnee G there. Was it because people got buried in the snow, that 88 years worth of snow that we're talking about? They just got lost and couldn't get out. Well, thanks for the update on that. Yeah. Well, also too, what we want to do is make sure to shout out our sponsors. We got two amazing sponsors this year, right, Daryl? We've got BR Disc Golf and Disc Republic supporting us. Our two stores in Canada. We always want to make sure that our brick and mortar and our online stores stay in business, and we love the fact that these guys are out there helping us out. You can use the code CHAINOUT with either of our sponsors, and that's a promo code that will help support your favorite podcast. So definitely go and check it out. I went on to the BR Disc Golf site, Daryl, and I did a little exploring this time. And I was taking a look around and I found something on there. Maybe it's a hidden gem, but I think when we were talking earlier, you knew about this. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But there is actually a Bert Kreischer 3-pack that Discraft made. You knew this, did you?
I've seen it, yeah.
I thought it was crazy, right? We got this celebrity comedian who doesn't wear a shirt and he likes disc golf, and he's got his own 3-pack. So he's got a Z-Nuke, an ESP Buzz, and a Jawbreaker Roach in there, each one with a different stamp of him on it. Right. Luckily, none of them are of him shirtless, as far as I could tell. But it was the 3-pack that I didn't know I needed.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be for me, but you can throw them if you want.
Yeah, that's right. They're not Innova. We need a Bert Kreischer Innova somehow next, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then when I was over on the Disc Republic site, what they've got going on is they do their top 20, top 25 for the month of January, but it was number 7 that caught my eye. And that's because Brixton is back. They've got their 2025 Tour Series Brixton card sets. And this year they called it the Parallel Universe. And I watched a video, looks pretty cool. They've always got great cards, and they've always got great pictures of the pros and the Canadians that they get in there too. Mm-hmm. Now, the cool thing they did this year is they gave each player who has a card, they gave them 25 exclusive cards that are only available from the player. So if you had, like, say, Thomas Gilbert, we wanted his cards, or Chantal Badinsky, we could get all of the cards in the packs and collect them all we wanted. But that last final card to complete our set, there's only 25 of them. And you better make good friends with your favorite pro to get it.
Right. So they only have 25 cards to give out through the whole season, probably. How many do you think they're going to have on them after the first weekend or by the end of the tour?
I don't know. It'd be interesting. Would it depend on the player, do you think? Do you think Paul Macbeth's going to hold on to his and Ricky's going to put him in a money gun and just shoot them out over the crowd or something like that?
That would be kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'd be interesting to see if they, they give away one an event, or if they just hand them out and get rid of them and be like, I don't have to deal with this anymore.
Well, I think no matter what, they're probably going to keep one each, because that's got to be special, like to have your own card with you on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unlimited. You see 1 of 10, 1 of 5 or whatever, but an exclusive 1 of 25 that only you can get to hand out. It's pretty sweet.
That's right. So maybe Ricky, actually, I'm going to go back to Ricky. If you rent my Airbnb, you can have one of my cards.
Cool. So that's what's happening with our sponsors. Sean, I mean, they're on top of the basket there. Sean in the chat is saying Chantel was including signed cards with her discs from her recent clearance sale. She gave us 2 that we've got here that I think you want to be giving away.
Yeah, we're going to give them away because she was putting out that. And those were, I think one of them was her 2024 and maybe one was 2025. Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you know what, Jeremy? Last week's episode, I don't want to go backwards when we should be going forwards, but last week's episode, that was a big one for us, because not only did we get to chat with the amazing Julie Bisson,
that was a great conversation.
Yeah. We also reached 500 YouTube subscribers mid-episode. How awesome was that? It went up, it went down, it went back up again. It was awesome. Yeah, thanks to everyone who supported us, and we're going to be all set to give away our 500 subscriber prize pack. Now, if you're a subscriber on YouTube, you're in the draw, but we need to be able to see your name. There is a way that you can hide your name. So if we don't see it, we don't know you're following us. Make sure you have your name visible. We're going to give you until end of the day on Monday, I think. So you got plenty of time.
Good. Yep.
Yeah, get your name visible. Turn it on, wait until after Monday, and then you can turn it off again. If you don't know how to turn it on, if you go to our link tree on our Instagram, there's a little tutorial there of how to make sure that your profile name and everything is being shown. So do that. We'll look for it. And you know what, Jeremy? That's just our 500 subscriber giveaway. The giveaways are lining up now. So we've got the 500 giveaway. After this, we're going to get to the Project 15 Gabe Robinson giveaway.
Yes.
And then we already mentioned about the Chantal Bedinsky one coming after that. So you do like to work me like a horse, don't you?
I do. I like to see you making all those awesome posts, spinning that wheel and making listeners happy.
There you go.
That's great. Well, after the episode, be sure to head over to our Patreon and get the free link to join us for Around the Basket. That's our other show, because you just didn't have enough tonight of Chain Out when we get through this that you want even more. Jump on there. It's a lot more free flow, interactive. We jump in with the chat a lot more, and you get to help direct the conversation. That's sometimes our favorite part. And we tend to work together to solve things like Disc Dull or other cool games that Daryl might have. The coolest game of all.
I'm going to tease. Well, I'm not going to tease it. I'm going to tell you. Tonight, we're going back to Silhouette.
Scylla who?
There you go. I was trying to set you up there. I know there's a bit of a delay, but Silhouette Scylla Who will be returning tonight. So if you're interested, or if you've never seen it before, come and check it out.
Now, Daryl, how's the green room looking? Is it pretty full? Are we like shoulder to shoulder in there?
Oh, you know what? People are getting annoyed. Yeah, there's food all over the floor. They're pacing around. We're ready to go now. People are holding up their fists. They're ready. They're bashing it. Come on, let them in. That's what they're saying.
All right. Well, tonight we have 3 awesome guests for you. These 3 guests are Canadian players, like all of us. But last year, they attended the Smith Lake Farms Disc Golf Clinic, a.k.a. Disc Golf Summer Camp. With registration for year 2 now open, we wanted to hear what it was like from actual campers. So join us in welcoming...
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Look at that.
How is everybody doing?
Good.
Really
There
good.
weren't enough green M&Ms.
There wasn't enough?
No, there weren't enough.
Okay, I'll put that on Jeremy.
Well, this is a first, I think, here. We've got 5 people on the podcast tonight, and I think we've got our first in-studio guest, too. That's a surprise.
Apart from guest co-hosts that we had where you couldn't make it, this is our first in-studio guest. Yeah. Welcome to the studio.
Yeah.
What does it feel like? It looks good?
Ooh. I see the mystery behind the magic.
Yeah.
I won't tell anybody.
Swanky.
There you go. Well, welcome to all our guests to what I guess could be called a summer camp reunion. And I think what we should do is, and I think it's even more of a reunion because a couple of the people in the chat right now have been there too. So let's start by having each one of you introduce yourselves. Tell us kind of where you're from, maybe your home course, and how long you've been playing disc golf. So I'm thinking I'm going to work my way around, and starting with the man with the spectacular beard, and I'm not talking about Daryl. Chris, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Thanks very much. Oh, I aspired to the levels of greatness Jeremy has achieved, or Daryl has achieved with his beard. I met him last year, and I was like, wow, that is just epic. I got to take it to a whole other level, I think.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So a little bit about me. I started playing disc golf about 4.5 years ago. I was introduced to it by a gentleman, a young guy that I worked with. And so it was, I went out and he loaned me a couple discs, and it hooked me. It just absolutely hooked me. So yeah, it was really,
awesome.
Really exciting. Yeah.
That's perfect.
And what about for you? What's your home course that you play in your area? Where are you located out there?
So we have two courses. I'm in Port Alberni on Vancouver Island, so not that far actually from Smith Lake Farm. We have two courses here in town. We have an 18 basket course that we put in 2 years ago in Dry Creek. It's about 4,100 feet total, so it's a good length. And then we also have a little 9 basket course at Echo Park as well in town here. And we do kind of an alternate 18. We've got a separate back 9 that we play in there, going for different tees and whatnot. So.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
well,
it's
let's move. Let's move over to the studio there. And Sonja, our in studio guest, did you have to travel far to get there? Tell us a little bit about, where you're from, where you like to play, and how you got into disc golf.
My name's Sonja. I am originally from Vancouver Island, so Smith Lake Farms feels like going home for me because a lot of my friends and family are still on the island, so I quite like it. I'm currently living in St. Albert. My home course is usually Kingswood during the summer, and then usually every other time of year it's probably Heritage. So, and I actually got started into disc golf probably about 2 years ago because of this guy. So, yeah, my love-hate relationship with disc golf is just blooming right now. So,
Isn't that what we all do? Like, if you know somebody who doesn't play disc golf, it's like, hey, have you heard of this thing called disc golf?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I followed Daryl around Sylvan Lake doing that RPM challenge.
Yeah, the 3 disc.
Videoing you, and after that, I was like, I should be playing. After that, watching him play that one tournament, I was like, I need to be playing this. So after that, I started playing more.
Are you telling us that after you watched Daryl play, you're like, if he can do it, then anyone can do this? Is that what it was?
Okay, so from a girl perspective, it was, if a guy can do this, I can do this. It doesn't look that hard.
He's getting brave when he's not in studio, hey?
That's right. If you've got the button, you can knock us down.
Yeah.
And I mean, and one of my goals is to outbest Daryl anytime I go out and play with him anyway. So it never happens, but I can try. So
there you go. Well, and let's not forget, we got Bruno here too. He's our youngest guest tonight, and probably our most famous one, I would argue, about the group we have assembled. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So, Bruno, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into disc golf and where you like to play.
Yeah, my name is Bruno, and I started playing disc golf about 5 years ago, and I really like playing at Mary's Farm, this course up island in Langford.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is it you like about that course?
I don't know. Just I know everyone there, and I've played there a lot, and it's just home pretty much.
What's your best round at Mary's Farm?
I think I got -4 from longs.
Nice.
Like a year ago. But they just changed the course, so it's a lot harder now.
Okay.
Well, the longs are pretty long. I played the longs at Mary's Farm before, and the longs are a long way. I don't think I've ever shot -4 from the longs.
Yeah, I've played there a lot.
Okay.
That's why they made it harder, because you just shot a -4.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I also heard too, I believe Mary's is putting in some new baskets, or did you already get those ones installed, or have you heard anything about that?
6 of them are in so far, but I think they're gonna put in the rest soon.
Okay, cool. Well, now that we got some introductions out of the way, why don't we roll ourselves into the Smith Lake Farms Disc Golf Clinic? And, start with you, Chris. How did you find out about Smith Lake Farms Disc Golf Clinic? Daryl says it's a mouthful, so we could say Summer Disc Golf Camp, as I've heard you say there. So how did you find out about it?
Sure. I've been playing at Smith Lake Farm for a while. It was one of the first courses I found online. And so I've been playing there, 2-3 rounds a year for a couple of years. And then my wife and I we bought into the Beef Club as well, because they're a working farm. And so I connected with Clea, and we bought the Beef Club, and and I helped them out as well. They were doing a presentation to the regional district, and so I connected with them and was able to get up and speak on their behalf as well. And then when summer camp, when she started having the idea for summer camp, I was like, oh, I got to get on board with that. And and I sponsored last year as well. I got a sponsorship on one of the holes, and so I had to be part of it. Especially, I had done some in-person clinics before. I did an in-person clinic with Nick Culver, and it made a massive difference in my game. And so there's a lot of value obviously in doing in-person clinics, even a group clinic like that. And then when she said Nate Sexton was coming, I was like, sold, done.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Keep going.
Yeah, no, that's it.
as well as Sophia and Thomas and Chad Stantz. He's a great guy as well.
Chad
or Chance there.
STAD, Chance Stad. Because they had done a one-day clinic the year before with Thomas and Sophia as well, I think, in Chance, if I recall correctly. And so the idea to expand it and make it quite a bit bigger was a no-brainer, considering the response they got. So
awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, if you hand it over to you, Bruno, so you and your dad both went to Smith Lake Farms last year. So who was the first one that said that they wanted it to go? Was it you or was it your dad?
My brother also went, but it was actually my grandpa because he was asking if there were like any clinics or anything to help our game, and then we said we told him about the Smith Lake thing, and he was like, "I'll pay for half the expense for you guys." And
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, so that's awesome. So grandpa's taken an interest in your disc golf and wants to see the two of you take it where you can take it.
That's awesome. So who would you say is the bigger disc golfer? You, your brother, your dad, anybody else in your family disc golf as well?
I'd say my brother probably. No one else in my family plays, but yeah, my brother, he can throw very far.
Yeah. Is he older than you?
Yeah, he's 2 years older.
Oh, okay. Well, you got some time to keep catching him up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sonja, you kind of mentioned it in your introduction there, and we'll kind of allude to it. So people who don't know, Smith Lake Farms is just outside of Comox on Vancouver Island. And I'm guessing, as you were indicating, that was probably a bit of a selling feature for you. So is that kind of part of what said, disc golf, and I get to go to this amazing island, or what was it that got you out there?
There was the opportunity to go. I had already been to the island probably back in April to see my mom. So, and it was not on a great note. So to come back to the island in June and to do something fun and for myself was a lot of fun. And it was nice. I mean, I always go to Victoria, so it was nice to be somewhere outside of Victoria doing stuff. As much as I love being on the island, anywhere on that place just feeds my soul. So it doesn't have to be Victoria. It doesn't have to be Comox. It could be Port Alberni. Could be Courtenay, right? So anywhere.
Yeah, it is a magical place, that's for sure.
Have you been out there, Jeremy?
I've been out to Victoria, and kind of course, you take the ferry over, and been back. Those were the days when I did ball golf and played Olympic View, and you can see the mountain on the course and the beautiful greenery all year long. And, there's just so much. So if that's what the south tip of the island looks like, I can just imagine what the rest is.
Right. Yeah. Well, as we, I don't know if we have mentioned, but the registration is open for the Smith Lake Farms Disc Golf Camp. But if we go back to last year, I'm guessing when the three of you all registered for the clinic, it was a case of you clicked register, then it was hurry up and wait for the event to get here. Once the event started and you first walked in and you walk into Alders Beach, you're getting your room assigned and all that. What were your first impressions of Smith Lake Farms in the Alders Beach? And why don't we just have to hand this one back to you, Chris?
Sure. Yeah, and obviously Smith Lake Farm is an amazing facility. It's literally my favorite place in the world to play disc golf. But I had never been to Alders Beach before. Now, a few days before it started, we got our room assignment, so I kind of knew which room I was going to be in. But we get down there, and I pull in and get to the cabin, and it's unreal. I mean, I've lived on Vancouver Island for about 15 years. I'm from the Lower Mainland originally, and it's just incredible to be on the beach on the eastern side of the island, where it's a little more protected. You're not out on the wild west coast where you could have these unbelievable crashing waves. So the east side of the island is just super calm water, and it's warm and just gorgeous, and the sand there is incredible. So, and the resort treated us spectacular. We took over the entire resort there, and so it was all disc golfers. So it was an incredible facility. Each of the cabins, and I went into a bunch of them. I was chatting with people when we were going in and out of cabins, having a great old time. And every one of the cabins was slightly different, and they were all just fantastic facilities. So it's an amazing place for sure. I mean, I'm local. I could drive. I could take the local route and just drive up there for each day. But I decided no, I gotta be on site at the resort. It just makes it so much better.
Oh, it sounds great.
Yeah,
and Daryl, like you can even see in the comments, people are already just the start of the conversation, and people are wishing they were on an opposite coast for it. So
yeah, exactly. Edgar Hartling, yeah, he's out in Newfoundland, I believe, saying he's on the wrong coast. Throwing it over to you, Bruno. Once you got into camp, you get settled. What was the first thing you wanted to do? Now at Alders Beach, there were, obviously Chris had just mentioned about all the accommodations and things like that, but dotted in and around the cabins was the mini disc golf course. Did you get a chance to play that?
Yeah, I did. I played like 3 rounds with my brother, and then these people were doing like a doubles for like a prize, so I just joined them, and it was great.
Yeah, it was really cool. When I first got there, they were just setting it up, and Chance and Thomas and Sophia were walking around kind of putting out the baskets and things like that. And I was like, well, this is kind of cool. Like, are they going to leave them out? So they left them out the whole weekend. And yeah, you got a mini as part of your players pack, and you're encouraged to get out there. And, it was quite tricky for, some of the holes were, they weren't, there were no easy par 3s out there. I'll tell you that, Jeremy.
No. They were also lit up, so we could keep playing at night. So it didn't matter where we were. The baskets were lit up, so you could, and we had like designated little tee pads that were flagged off. So it was really, really cool to keep playing throughout the day.
One of the highlights that I took away from it, and I have a photo of it, but I've never kind of showed it, was playing behind Thomas and Sophia and Chance, and watching Thomas, obviously, who we know that can bomb a regular frisbee, threw his mini and it landed on top of one of the cabins. So he had to climb up on top of the cabin onto the roof to retrieve his mini. So just watching him walk around on top of the cabin was a pretty awesome experience.
There you go. And Bruno, you said you got to play the doubles. How did you and your brother fare in that? Did you do okay?
I wasn't with my brother. These nice guys, they invited me to play, and I was like the worst in the group, so our team didn't do great, but it was still a great time.
Okay, that's hard to believe. I guess it's only because I wasn't out there, so. But there you go. Now, Sonja, when we get to we want to get to the actual camp, but we do want to know a little bit more about the accommodations. What did you think from your point of view? Like, not just the accommodation part, but like, how was the food? Because I do remember the previous year seeing posts from Thomas Gilbert when he was up there, and it just looked like the area has all the most amazing craft beer and food in the area. So what did you think of it?
The food was awesome. I think my favorite portion of the weekend was when the oyster bar came out at like on Saturday night at like 10-11 o'clock at night, and with all the music playing, the fire pit was going, people are mini disc putting all around the place, and the food was just incredible. And the atmosphere in general, I think the whole weekend was just such a vibe that I think staying at the resort was the way to do it, because you just missed being part of the community while you were there. So it was just awesome.
Nice. All right, Bruno, I'm coming back to you. So when I was young, I was a big baseball fan, especially the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'm going to mention my favorite players who you've probably never heard of, but maybe some of the other older listeners here will remember Kelly Gruber and John Olerud and some of those players. And I got to watch them on TV, but I lived in the area, so I got to go to the games and sit in the stands and actually see them from the stands, but I never got a chance to meet any of them. So now I'm looking
Yeah.
at you, and you're a younger guy, and as a disc golfer, you got a chance to meet and hang out and learn from some of the biggest names in disc golf for us, including Sophia Donica, Thomas Gilbert, Chance Stad, or Daryl, was it Chad Stantz, did you say?
They were both there.
Oh, they were both there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Nate Sexton, of course, too. So how
Yeah.
did you enjoy that?
It was great. I mean, I got to talk to them all, and they're all really nice, and it was just great.
Yeah. Well, did you have a favorite instructor out of the four of them? Was there one that kind of you were a little more partial to?
Chance was really good at like finding little tweaks that were wrong with your form and telling you them.
Okay.
And
So
he
is
was out
that
on
where
he was out on the
Keep
field
going.
that everyone was throwing, and he was like just walking around telling people little tweaks that they could do, and it was great.
Okay. So Chance was around telling you little tweaks. What was Chad doing while that was happening? Did you know?
I have no
That's
idea
just
who he is.
That's right. Tell Daryl that. Thank you.
Well,
So that's awesome.
you would say that as well, Sonja, right? Chance came over and kind of gave you some forehand
Yeah, I
tips.
got like at least a 10-15 minute one-on-one about my forearm that I still can't throw very well. But I mean, it was awesome. I learned it, and I loved having the one-on-one time. I wasn't expecting it, but it was nice that it happened. So it was nice that they recognized and could see people who needed maybe a little bit more help than everybody else. Maybe that just shows that I really needed help, but hey, that's okay. At least, I mean, I got a lesson, and I bought some discs from him just because I felt bad. So, because of taking up so much of his time. So,
Oh, that's awesome. And he's always got the best stamp discs. I've got one from, actually a couple from last year with those baby Cthulhus. It's a really, really cool stamp. It really fits with his kind of passions and that as well outside of disc golf.
and his
So,
wife
Chris-
and his dog are amazing as well. They were awesome the whole weekend.
Well, when we had Chance on the podcast, he told us, because he has his dog Leia, and I don't know, maybe we just say it really quick here, Daryl, but he ended up going down, I want to say a girlfriend at the time, and if I got that wrong, he'll correct me, but he went down to California to help her get a dog, and then he came back with Leia, is what I
Yeah,
remember
that's
the
right.
story being.
Yeah.
And that just goes again with his passions for sci-fi and everything else, Leia from Star Wars. So,
Yeah.
Chris, you said you'd met Chance as well, but had you met any of the other coaches before?
Well, I mean, Sophia, I had met around as well because she's pretty local, but I had never met Thomas until again, you know, the previous clinic. So, you know, it's amazing to get that personal time, even in a group setting. It's amazing to me, you know, as a content creator, someone who, and I've said this on my channel a bunch of times, you know, I'm never going to teach people. Well, I'm never going to give people form advice on my channel because it's just not where I don't think I'm any good at it. So, but I watch a lot of videos, and I've always watched a lot of videos, and there's a difference between watching videos online and actually being in person with someone that can show you what's going on. So, you know, one day or 2 days with those pros basically gave me more benefit than every video pretty much I've ever watched, because you can go into watching a drill. For example, you go in to see, you know, Disc Golf Spin Doctor does the cook the spaghetti drill, and I can do that in my backyard all I want, but I don't know everything I'm doing wrong. You know, when you're in there, because the way they had built the sessions is you would have a backhand session, for example, and then there's a half hour, and we would all go out in the field and we would just rip them into the field. And so, you know, the pros were walking around at that time as well. So they built in time in order to make sure that everybody got a chance to, you know, to try out the stuff that we were learning. And that made a huge difference as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
and that kind of helps me understand a little bit better too, because I know that they're all great players. We can see Thomas rip a disc and throw it further than we could ever imagine. But I was always wondering how they were at coaching and teaching, because a lot of times just because you can do doesn't mean you can teach. But it sounds like they have both skills and talents available to them.
Yeah, absolutely. All the coaches that were there, they have this ability to see everybody at their own level and help them at their own level, and take someone who might be an absolute beginner and not really work on the power pocket with them. They work on what they need, that person needs, and not just the big disc, the big arm stuff. Like you would expect Thomas to be able to teach everybody to throw 600. Well, he might be in there helping us with individual tiny little things that are going to make a big difference in our game, that aren't going to help us get to 600 feet, but they're going to help us throw consistently and going to help us hit our lines more often as well. So
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a great point that you mentioned there about the beginners, because that's something I wanted to ask you. You were pretty much a beginner when you went out there,
Yep.
talking last year. How did you feel like the clinics were geared towards beginners? Because like Chris was saying, we're going to pick up things about, the power pocket, or we're to have all the
I
different
asked
angles and
questions.
things like that.
I asked questions, especially because I am a standstill driver. They were talking about form about driving, and I wanted some more tips about standstill because my coordination doesn't allow me to walk and drive at the same time. So, and I think that lesson in itself, where I got my hip action, I don't know if you can attest to this a little bit, but I think my drives especially started going a bit further and probably more straight, I want to say, especially when I finally got that the hip action on my front foot. So they were really open to all the questions that we had to ask, not just from me, but from everybody. So it was great on that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
My big
that's
takeaway.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say too, when Daryl came back, it was all he could talk about, right? And I got to hear so much about the camp. And he told me about one of the things that I can remember that stuck in my head from him was he told me about Nate Sexton's putting lessons, where the coaches, he said, would stand right beside you and tell you like, this next putt was for the world championships, and they're whispering in your ear. And he just told us how good of an experience that was, and it gave him the real feeling of practicing putting under pressure. Now, did all of you feel the same way about that? Was that a highlight of the week for you? Maybe Bruno,
Definitely.
what did you think? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And did it make you more nervous, or what did it do? Did you think it
Oh, it
changed
made
things?
me a lot more nervous. Nate started yelling out to everyone, "This is to win the Olympics!" Bruno Luchin with the putter.
And when the pressure came on, how did you do? Were you able to still get it in, or what? Or did it just throw your whole
I
putt
made it
off?
to like the final 6, and then I missed every putt.
Oh, okay.
It really was a good drill, because he even says it himself. Like when he's practiced putting in his own yard or whatever, he'll take his last 5 putts and he'll put that pressure on himself. Like he'll talk himself up. He'll get to the point where he's like getting goosebumps on his arms that this is and so much pressure on these putts, and he'll do those last 5 putts. And if they don't go in, if they go in, doesn't matter. He goes inside the house. And this also comes down to kind of his mental approach as well. You're not just learning form and things like that. You're also learning the more of the mental side, because he says that if he misses that final putt, he has that weight of, I just lost the world championships. And he has to then go inside his house and go to bed or do whatever he's got to do with that weighing on his mind that was the putt that he missed. And then conversely, obviously, if he makes the putt, he's so happy, and then he gets to go in. There's no more redos. There's no more, I'll just throw one more. Like whatever feeling that is, that's the feeling that he has to live with until he starts again. So, and then on the other side, the Nate Sexton, that's the biggest thing that I think that I took away from it was the putting, because I used to be a staggered stance putter, but after getting the lessons from him of how to do straddle putt, I just felt like I never really did it the way that he was teaching, And I felt like even though I would still miss some putts, I was always hitting metal because they were going a lot straighter. So I figured that if I can hit metal, like we always say that, there should be an extra little checkbox on U-disc. You've made the birdie, you've made it inside circle 1, circle 2, but how many times did you make a circle 2 putt that hit metal? If you could just have a little checkbox to say, oh, I hit metal, so at least I was kind of close. I almost made it. No air balls and that sort of thing, right? So, yeah, the staggered, the straddle putt and then the actual putting techniques and all that would be the biggest thing that I took away from the weekend for sure.
Yeah, because it was more than just drill, because we did learn a specific drill to help you put pressure on yourself, where if you got 2 putts and if you step back, if you make them, you stay where you are if you make one. But in addition to that, it was also a contest. So they had everybody set up in circles around baskets. So they had 8 or 10 baskets out in the field, and they got everybody lined up in these circles, and the pros were going between the circles. We were working on the drill, and then we did a contest where everybody they stopped everybody and said, okay, now wherever you are, make 2 putts. If you make 2 putts, then you go on to the next round. And so it actually got down to where we were whittling everybody down from their individual baskets, and we got down to enough people, and they all went around to one basket, and we were all standing there, and we were all cheering and yelling and watching Bruno nail his putts, because by that time, you're stepping back, you're 8, 10, 12 paces away, you're getting outside of C1, and it's a lot of pressure when you got a whole gallery like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds so awesome. And I could tell from just what all of you are saying that it would be a kind of a real moving moment for you. So that's cool. Now, Chris, while we're talking about it, I kind of had wondered if there would be a lot of downtime during the weekend. And I remember Daryl kind of saying it really wasn't the case. What did you think? Did you feel that you were sitting around twiddling your thumbs any point during the weekend?
Not at all. But I mean, the flip side of that is that there wasn't really any downtime. Even when we were down, we were down at the resort after the sessions happened. We would go down to the resort and we'd spend some time down there. And there's always stuff going on and you're waiting for dinner or whatnot. But it never, you never felt like you were under pressure though. So while we were still moving from place to place and we were doing the backhand session, then we'd have 30 minutes to throw, and then we go do the forehand session. It never felt like we were rushed. It never felt like we were chopping things off. Because like Sonja said, while they're doing the backhand sessions, we're out there firing questions at them. And they had no problem with us just firing questions while they were in the middle of doing their thing. So there wasn't a ton of downtime inside the sessions themselves, but it never felt like we were rushed. It never felt like we were, okay, we got to chop it off and go to the next thing. It was a real natural flow to the whole weekend.
And that's what I've said to you before, Jeremy, is that, there was never a point where you were standing around thinking, okay, what are we going to do now? Well, we've got 2 hours until the next session or anything like that. And like Chris said, it wasn't you were rushed. It wasn't like, okay, we got to go. It's just that whenever the clinic finished, it was, okay, well, lunch is here. So why don't you go grab some pizza or your pasta or whatever you ordered. So you had that. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to go back and do the backhand. Okay, we went over and did that. Okay, well, now it's time to chumps versus chumps. So let's head over there. Like it was always something to do, but you were never rushed and you never felt like you were just standing around wondering what to do either. So yeah, it was very well put together.
But they still had a structure that they stuck to and that worked really, really well. It was still structured and very well run.
Oh, good, yeah. Good. Well, Bruno, when we got to the end of the day and all of the activities and lessons were done and, the sun is kind of setting and everything else, what were you doing in the evenings? Was the party still going on, or was it just everybody was pooped out and went to bed? What was happening?
Oh, everyone was still out. Everyone was like playing mini disc golf or like sitting in chairs watching the sunset or something. And one guy, he put on the Edmonton Oilers game when they were in the finals. So a ton of people crowded around there and they were watching. And everyone was like cheering when they scored. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fun was just happening. Well, yeah. And you guys had mentioned the beach, and there was a campfire as well?
Campfire, and we also because of where we were on the inside, we got to also see the cruise ships going up and down, going from Vancouver up to Alaska, and especially they would come down at night, so they're all lit up in the water. So basically it's dark on our side, dark on the water, little cruise ship And then you see more lights on the other side on the main line. It was really, really cool. I have a picture of it. It's one of my favorite.
Nice. So campfires, beach, it really does sound like summer camp. I don't know how you can go wrong.
The only thing we were missing was the guitar and a rousing chorus of Kumbaya.
There was a guitar pulled out at one point.
Oh, really? I
remember that. Yep.
In bed.
Yeah, there was a guitar pulled out at one point on Saturday night. I remember that. And then at midnight, we all got shut down. So
just thinking of something else that happened, Jeremy, that I know we haven't talked about, but I know I didn't partake in it, but I know a lot of people did, was that on the Sunday, it might have been Saturday morning or it might have been Sunday morning,
yes,
very early. I say very early. For some people, it was early. I think it was about 7 a.m. They actually had beach yoga. Yeah. It was kind of in the camp. They brought in a yoga instructor and everyone was out there and they were going through their yoga and stretching and all that for first thing in the morning. So, if you needed to loosen up and needed to stretch and, I know that would have been right up your alley when you head out there. Yeah. So they had that. I don't know if they'll be doing it again this year, but I know there was quite a few people that attended it.
Yes.
Really cool. Really cool. Well, not only did you guys get a chance to meet and learn from these 4 awesome coaches who were there, but it kind of sounds like they were also getting you ready for part of the weekend. And that would have been the champs versus chumps. So Ian Anderson and his team from Central Disc Golf were there. Also, they were filming episode 17 of this popular series. Now, I don't know who wants to take it. I kind of put it to you, Chris, if you're good for it, because we may have a listener or two out there who's not familiar with champs versus chumps. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what it is and who the champs were, who was involved in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the champs versus chumps was one of the things that I was really looking forward to. The way it runs is that we had enough attendees there that every hole, and it was a 20-hole course, so not their regular layout, but a 20-hole layout. And every hole had 4 chumps, basically camp attendees that would play that hole. And then Sophia and Thomas were playing as a doubles, best disc doubles. And of course, us chumps were playing as a 4-disc double, best throw. So all 4 of the chumps would throw, and then we would pick the best throw, and then they would have all 4 of us would do our approach, and then putt out as well. And then Thomas, we're just doing basic doubles, best throw.
Okay. And so that was Thomas and Sophia were doing that. Hey, so we had the 2 Canadians. And I think, because I did get a chance to watch it, and it was cool to see that. I think that was the first time we've had 2 Canadians participate as the champs.
I think so. And Nate was behind. He was beaking the whole time. One of the shticks, one of the things they do is that he loves to trash talk people when they're on the tee, and
but
when
in a good way.
In a very, very fun way. Yeah, it's not mean or anything, and it's just great. It was awesome. Yeah.
One of the interesting things that I found out from watching, and obviously from being at the event, but if you watch the video back, is that this, I think, was one of the first times that Thomas was actually playing on the champs side, that he had actually been in previous videos on the chumps side, which was kind of a bit of a shock to me, that Thomas was actually throwing on the chumps side. Like, yeah.
Well, with that being said there, Chris, what hole did you end up getting to play?
So I got to play hole number 5. If you watch the video, I play on hole number 5, which actually, because of the way they massage the layout, is their normal hole number 1. So it's 420 foot, I think, par 4. And so, it was, I wanted that hole because I wanted a long hole so that I could be sure that I got a couple of throws in at least. Some of the par 3s, they were parking it, and you're not necessarily going to get a number of throws in. So 4 was, I wanted something nice and long, and I was able to throw a nice huge turnover and get it a long way down. Probably the best throw I've ever had on that hole. I've thrown that turnover line before, but I've never been able to get it quite that far before. So we were a long way down the fairway, which is good.
Well,
and it was hot that day.
It was very hot.
Sorry, it was hot that day.
Yeah.
Well, and I would say, Chris, too, as I went back and watched it a little bit before to see you on hole 5, and what a moment to actually throw one of your best shots, because this is what Nate said, and I quote, he's like, "What a pretty shot. Yeah. I can't imagine that going much better. That was nicely done." So Chris has got like his moment of fame here. Then you had your upshot, and that had a little bit different comment. It was that.
Exactly.
a fantastically lucky bounce.
He said, and I read, because I watched this again the other day. He said a couple of times, "Not a great shot, not a great shot." But it just, I went over the basket, and luckily I hit the fence post that was behind the basket, and it bounced to within about 6 feet, and we were able to putt out from there. So I got a solo birdie on that hole out of the
Okay.
for the jumps. Yeah.
Good job.
Well, good. Well, you know what? And that's hole 5. That leads us. Let's just keep going in order because I think Daryl was up next. Tell us a little bit about hole 6, Daryl.
Yeah, well, I didn't think the same way that Chris did. I don't know the course that well, so I thought I was picking a hole that was in the woods because I felt like I wanted to try a wooded hole. I ended up picking the last of the kind of the open shots before you get into the woods, which ended up being a kind of shorter par 3, kind of where you tee off is in on the edge of the field, the farm area, and then your basket is just in the tree line. So I think 2 or 3 people stepped up before me. I may have been third or last on the card to step up, but the pressure was on. Like Chris, I wanted to throw a good shot. This was my first time being on coverage. I wanted to put it out there. Went to do my run up on the tee pad, and I'm not making this up because other people have spotted it, but tripped on the tee pad, threw my shot. Didn't realize that how discs fly so unstable at sea level, because obviously we're not used to throwing at sea level. Through my end of a turn, which is a -3.2, and that would on that day was more like a -5.0 because I threw it. It turned over and it never even looked like coming back.
See, that shot would have been perfect on hole number 5. That was the exact same shot I threw on 5. Just a nice big long turnover.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just we're going to do a playback here. I wrote it down, Daryl,
Okay,
of what Nate had to say about your shot. So we know what he had said about Chris's.
Yeah, I can only imagine it's going to be something spectacular.
It starts out okay. Well, big turning shot. And then I think I inserted chuckle. It sounded like he might have chuckled a bit. He goes, distance was fine. So now we have to qualify. And then he continues to go on and say, sometimes it is difficult to focus when someone on your team has already done so well. So
and that
take
was
out of that what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And that was exactly the same thing Chris was saying, that somebody, I think first or second throw, kind of hit the perfect shot, went in through the tree line, bounced up right under the basket or close to the basket. Mm-hmm. So, the only thing I could try and do is ace, but, it didn't come close to that. And then when it came time to putt, the 2 people that already thrown first went ahead of me, and I think the second person made the putt. So my whole claim to fame on the Chumps versus Chumps is I threw one big turnover shot that didn't go anywhere near the basket. And I tripped on the tee pad.
But besides all of that, there was a lot of B-roll coverage of walking between holes, and I saw every one of you showing up in there multiple times. So that's cool that you're always going to be out there in that episode. Yeah. Now, I want to get to Bruno because this is the moment a lot of people have been waiting for. But just before we let Bruno take over with some of this, he got a chance to play a hole as well, and that was hole 12. But I want to get the mood and the stage set for kind of what was happening on the course and in the round before we got there. So I don't know if you want to start, Daryl, Chris, Sonja, if you want to add a little bit before we hand it over to Bruno, but what was it looking like? Were you guys doing okay? How were the Chumps doing for those first 11 holes before it got to Bruno's hole?
From what I remember, I don't remember too much about it. I mean, I've watched it, but I wasn't really paying attention to the scores. But I think from what I remember is that the Chumps were doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started out strong, I think, and then, but I mean, Sonja and Thomas were canning massive putts. Like every putt was just a massive putt, and so they big putted us on most of the holes. So, but it was still fairly close until we got into the woods there, and then the Champs started to pull away a little bit, and they had a few strokes on us, and then hole 12 happened, and that just changed everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I think I know Daryl and I were in perfect position to see that.
Don't say too much.
All right. So I would tell you this. And when I looked, everything was going well. Hole 11, there was one of the ladies was there and she dropped a big putt. And that's when Nate said, my watch is going off telling me there's a sound emergency and that I should maybe check my ears because the decibels are so loud. So hole 11 just finished that. This streak is starting to come on where, okay, maybe the chumps aren't out of this. Maybe there's still an opportunity for it. So we've got all this momentum coming out of hole 11, and then we get to hole 12. And Bruno, we're gonna cue it, but before we cue it up there, tell us a little bit about how the first throws went for everybody. What was that start of hole 12 like?
So the first guy stepped up and he threw, and it looked pretty good, but then he hit a tree. I step up, I do the exact same thing, and then my dad does the same thing. And then the guy after us, he throws, and it looks like it's way offline, but it gets through some trees, and it goes way up the fairway, like 300 feet up the fairway, and it's like the best drive I've ever seen on the hole. So then the champs throw, and they hit the trees too. So on their second shot, they got to where our first shot had gotten. And then the guy who had thrown the first shot, he throws. He goes around, so he's in pretty good positioning. And then I decide, you know what? I've already hit a tree. I might as well risk it for the brisket.
All
So
right. let me just hold you right there, because I actually
risk
have
it for the biscuit. I like it.
I like it. So here you are, and like you said about, you threw off the tee and you hit a tree. Once you get into the trees, that is pretty much, that's a lot of what the course is. Like the fairways are very tight. There's a lot of trees just off the tee. There are a few a little bit wider holes, but yeah, once you get up the fairway, if you're making it through, you've got a great shot. So like you said, we got you right here. You're just approaching the disc. This is the one that got up the fairway. You can just kind of see it just off to the left of the tree in the center there. You can just see a little yellow basket. So what was going through your mind as you're just walking up to this? You say you're just going to risk it for the brisket. You're going to throw it and see what happens?
yeah, there was this really tight line, and I thought, if I get it through, that's going to be perfect, and that's going to go right under the basket, because I had this disc that for some reason the whole weekend I had been hitting every line I wanted. So then I tried it and just let the video.
Where are we going
Oh,
with this? Straight?
hang on. Let's just refresh it here a bit.
Yeah, I could hear the
Okay.
sultry tones of Nate there.
Okay, I've moved it back a bit. This is, like you said, this is
Oh, wow. That was weird. Oh,
that was Thomas.
it's
throwing
not
off.
good. Where are we going with this? Straight at it for the eagle? Yes, sir.
I think it's because we're live streaming.
Straight at it. Are you kidding me? What a shot! Oh my God! That was a highlight. Holy cow! Are you kidding me?
Oh, everybody disconnected.
What a shot! What a shot! That was incredible.
I think we had some issues there. I think you all got disconnected while that video was playing, but it was.
You know what I think? You know what I think happened, Daryl, was that a shot was so amazing that it crashed a podcast episode.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's
So-
like you were saying before, it's Champs versus Chumps 17. It was hole 8. It's on, like you
Hole
said,
12.
Sorry, hole 12. Because of the 20 hole layout, it's on the second half, or the front half, right?
Second half.
Second half.
No, it would be on the second half. It's hole 20. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so it was, and it's good. I've got the notes in here, Bruno and Chris and Sonja. If you wanted this from, I'm no Nate Sexton, but when he's going on, he's going, "Are you kidding me? what a shot. Oh my God, that was a highlight. Holy cow. And he just kept going on. He goes, that was incredible. That was one of the best shots we've ever seen in Champs versus Chumps. So, like, Bruno, what were you feeling at that moment when that disc crashed into the basket?
It's hard to explain. It was just crazy. Like, my whole life had built up to this moment, my 1 in a million chance, and it went in.
It's so amazing.
A funny part about it was my dad, he got one shot and he hit a tree. So he's always annoyed because I hit the tree.
I feel his pain just having that one shot. Yeah, no,
Right.
that's awesome. The fact that that was in your mind. You were like, you know what? I'm out here. Let's not leave anything out on the course. Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Now, what was
Nate,
the rest?
Nate was going on earlier too about, especially like a lot of the chumps up until that point. You know, when we were getting, you get someone that would park it, and then the chump just lay it up, and and Nate's just going on like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so, Bruno, then tell us, like, what was the rest of your weekend like? Was everybody cheering? Were they celebrating you? Were they asking for your autograph? What was it like?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. At the end, the pros ended up giving me a disc, and then Thomas and Chance asked me to sign their disc, which was awesome. And yeah.
And how is your signature? Do you have one that's already kind of ready for the pro times, or do you got to work on it a bit?
I have to work on it.
But that's cool that you got to sign a disc for a pro instead of going the other way around. How amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and Daryl, what do you think was probably for Bruno the rest of the time? You know, if he was a little bit older, he wouldn't have had to buy a drink the rest of the weekend. So maybe desserts and, you know, whether it was your favorite pop or root beer all weekend long, everybody taking care of you. If not, then they weren't doing it right. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know.
Everyone.
Go ahead, Bruno.
You go ahead. It's fine.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just gonna say I don't know if we I don't know if we asked you or if because we got caught up in the fact we were going to show it in the clip. But what disc did you throw?
Oh, I threw a hex, a lab second hex.
Okay. Where is that disc now? Is it still in the bag? Is it on the wall? Is it?
It's on my wall.
Yeah. Nice. How many people signed it?
4. All the pros.
Okay.
Nice.
No, that's cool. And, you know, I have a thing I always say, Bruno, that I get a lot of discs signed when I can, and I like to throw them because I like to think I've got that pro throwing with me because Gabby Lee or Thomas Gilbert or whoever it is signed that disc, so I'm going to throw it. But I'm with you. If I was on Champs versus Chumps 17, the biggest shot they've ever seen, hole 12, signed by them, that's never getting thrown again. That's in a wall. That's in a glass case with a light shining on it. So you're doing the right thing for sure.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that shot is marked on that course. He's got
It
that space is spot is marked forever.
Yeah.
As Bruno shot.
It was definitely marked on the Sunday when we went out and played it again. There was a mark. Can you make Bruno's shot?
Yep.
So I don't know if you've played it since then, either of you. Is it still marked?
Yes, yeah, I've played it
awesome.
a bunch of times since then, and there's a sign up there as well, and I've got my drive up that far before, and I've tried to make that shot, and man, you get up to where that sign is, and you just look, and it is so tight, and you're like, how on earth did he get it that far, go that straight? Like it had because I was behind the basket watching it happen, and so I was kind of behind the basket and to the left. And it was like a laser beam. It didn't go left, didn't go right. It just flipped up and went bang straight into the chains. It was just perfect, absolutely perfect.
Fantastic! I love it. Well, Sonja, now I got to ask you a question about this. Is you didn't get a chance to play a hole last year, but you were on hand, as you said, as a spectator. What was it like watching everything play out live and in person? Was that a cool experience to kind of follow around?
It was a cool experience. I I missed the first 2 holes because I wanted to do some practice on my own, and the field was clear, so I kind of enjoyed having my little piece of quiet and practicing. But then I caught up to them and started watching them on a hole 4, I think. And oh my goodness, I want to say the air felt electric almost just watching it, right? Especially when we got into the forest, we were we were loud. I'm just wondering if those train horns are going to be back next year. Probably, but if anybody knows about the train horns, you know.
It's a little bit different than the library course, Jeremy. It was we could be as loud as we want, but we were told that we were being a little bit loud, so
we were being too loud.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, now, Sonja, do you think that now that you had a chance to see it and be part of it, and that you've got a little bit more experience under your belt, do you think you would want to play a hole if you got a chance?
I have no choice this year.
Oh, there you go.
You've been.
I've been signed up apparently, so I have no choice this year. I'm looking forward to it because I feel more confident than I do last year on my throwing abilities a little bit. So I just got to work it out more. My first run of January, it was not so good on my arm.
Yeah, that's it. Shake the rust off in the winter. That's for sure. In the cold weather, tight muscles, all of it. Well, I'm telling you, Daryl, this conversation tonight with these awesome guests, it sounds like it was an amazing event from top to bottom. And this year, Smith Lake Farms Disc Golf Camp is taking place June 11th to 14th. So mark your calendars. And now we have a similar question for each of you. Let's kind of work our way around again. We'll start with Chris. So for anyone who is thinking of attending this year and may ask themselves, is it worth the price of admission? What would you say?
Oh, without a doubt, it is worth the price. I mean, I've done in-person camps before, half-day camps and stuff like that. And to be able to be immersed in it and have no distractions whatsoever, to be completely immersed in it for 2 or 2.5 days makes a massive difference. In addition to how well CLIA runs it. And CLIA they do tournaments up there all the time. So I go up and do regular tournaments, sanctioned tournaments and stuff like that 2 or 3 times a year. And it always runs absolutely like clockwork. And she just translates that into, how she runs the weekend and how you feel like you're just over at her place for a weekend disc golf party. That's kind of how the atmosphere is. I mean, we stay down at they're down there at the resort with us all day as well when we're down at the resort. But I mean, to be able to just be welcomed into their home and into this course that they've carved out of their farm is just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And what about you, Sonja? For all the new disc golfers out there, would you say this is a camp that they can attend as well?
Totally. As someone who thought when I originally signed up, am I going to learn anything? Is it going to be faff? No, I actually learned quite a few things. So I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed being, like Chris said, being immersed into it, I think helped a lot because being like going in training and then going home and then coming back, I don't think would have done the same kind of thing. So I appreciate everything that I learned and all the support that we got out there from them. So it was great. Totally cool. For new beginners.
And then Bruno, handing it over to you as a junior disc golfer, do you think there was enough for younger players to do?
For sure. They had like the tech disc out, which kept all the kids busy for like 2 hours. We were all trying to get the highest spin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
then
awesome.
at the end, when Nate left, we all went to the gate and we started doing the flip that he does when he putts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was good for Nate as well. Yeah, he brought his family up and stayed there for a little bit of the time. Unfortunately, the time we were there, he didn't have any discs with him, but hopefully he'll be bringing some up next year. Or this year, should I say. So, yeah, hopefully there'll be a lot more stuff for people to buy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, Daryl, do you have a pro tip for everybody? Because you were there as well. So we've kind of heard everyone else saying it was great and they would be part of it. Do you have any pro tips?
Well, firstly, I'd like to just say that something that we kind of touched on, but the food every evening and at lunch and things like that is spectacular. You don't have to worry about going hungry or not eating what you might not want. So the food was awesome. The vibe on the Saturday night, they had the DJ. I forget her name, but the DJ was there spinning some tunes. Always a great time. What's one pro tip? I would probably say bring some extra money and leave some space in your luggage because you're going to be bringing back some signed discs. You can pick up your own Smith Lake Farm signed discs, get them signed by all the pros. They're more than willing to sign your discs. Chance, Sophia, Thomas will always have some merch as well, so you can buy discs. I got my Thomas and Sophia Whiff Diff t-shirt there to support them in their efforts when they were going out to China. Not the Whiff Diff, the other one, the Disc Golf Championships, was it? The World Games, that was it.
World Games.
Yes, there you go. So yeah, you're gonna be buying something and bringing it back with you. So make sure you have enough space for all of that. Not to mention, like Chris said, the actual farm itself. If you do have some downtime, if you can do it, there's a bee tour that I wanted to go on, but I didn't get a chance to do it last year, but hopefully I'll get a chance to do it this year. Plus all the honey and all the meats, like Chris was saying, and the merch, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the everything else. Yeah, you're going to be filling up your suitcase on the way back for sure.
The way they operate. Yeah, the way they operate their farm is it's not a pay to play disc golf course.
Right.
So you don't go up there and pay whatever dollars to play the course. You play your round, and then they have a farm store there, and you go into the farm store and you just buy $10 worth of product. So usually I'll come home with a jar of honey or some relish or some beef jerky or pepperoni or whatever. So it really does support their farm business.
Yeah. The whole aspect of the camp falls under agri-tourism. So it's an agriculture tourism place, and it just happens to have a disc golf course that you can take in as well.
And there are animals on the farm. Like we saw the cows and everything like that. So they are there visually seeing them. So, I mean, yes, most of them were like probably off to where we couldn't, like they were off to the side because we were using most of the course, but they have their own area for them. So it was really cool.
Yeah, they change the course up during the course of the year, depending on where they need the cows to be. So if they need the cows in one pasture, they'll shut down the holes in that, and then they'll open up holes on a different field, so that they've always got holes coming and going in and out of the layout.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this probably goes without saying, and you've kind of alluded to it already, is that overall, all four of you would go back again this year if you could. Is that fair to say?
I am booked.
Well,
yep.
I'm already signed up.
And then Bruno, have you started talking to Grandpa to say you just need a little one more time
50%.
Half. Starting to nudge it in.
There you go. He's working on it.
Well, thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate getting all of your perspectives. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, when we kind of maybe broke up, they probably dropped off and went straight to Disc Golf Scene to check out the details and figure out how they can be part of this year's event. So appreciate you all. Thanks for coming on, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Bruno. Thank you, Sonja.
I had one more thing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, this is just
actually, yeah, I should go. You go ahead.
Well, do the circle there, Daryl.
Yeah. I just wanted to shout out because it's coming up sooner than, unfortunately, disc golf camp. But we have She's Up First coming up May 2nd, which is our Edmonton local female-run disc golf. Why can't I think of the word?
Sorry.
Course? No.
Event.
Thank you.
Women's disc golf event. Yeah.
Event. Yep. But also right now the Canadian Women's are having a waffle draw to help raise money for that. So if you're looking at buying tickets, there are some great discs up for grabs that are available now to help support women's events in Canada. So
awesome.
Please support.
There you go. And let's go to Bruno. Bruno, do you have anybody you want to thank or anybody you want to shout out? Are you now that you've thrown in that amazing shot and people have seen it all around the world, are you kind of pushing sponsors away at this point?
I just got sponsored like
Oh,
2
that's
weeks
awesome.
ago.
Perfect. You want to
Yeah,
give them a shout out?
I think it's Soaring Eagle Disc Golf. Check it
Yeah.
out. It's like on the island. This guy Ed, he's a great guy. He's just setting it up. He's really nice. You should go check it out. And
Awesome.
I'd also like to thank Smith Lake because it's just an amazing place and amazing community.
Awesome. Soaring Eagle Disc Golf.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then, not last but not least, Chris, I do have something lined up for you. But anybody you want to thank or anything you want to shout out?
Well, I wanted to also shout out to the Comox Club, because a lot of the club members, most of the maintenance on the disc golf course on the farm is actually done by volunteers, and so a lot of the club members volunteer there regularly. So a big shout out to the club members up in the Comox Valley, where they've got 5 or 6 great disc golf courses up there, and they put in a ton of hours up there as well. So awesome. Big shout out to them. One thing that I do remember, and we didn't actually touch on this at all, but one thing that we did do was actually a doubles tournament on the last day. So we did literally, it was like a random flip doubles, and the pros got in as well. So you might have got paired up with Thomas Gilbert. We had Chance Stad on our card of doubles. So we had, however many of us were on the card, and it was awesome to play around with him, even though he wasn't my partner. Although me and my partner, we did play second. Just saying.
Ooh, just saying.
And then obviously people can find you if they want to follow you on Instagram or anywhere. Graybeard Disc Golf.
Absolutely, yes. Just go to graybearddiscgolf.com. That'll kick you over to my YouTube channel, and then I've got Instagram as well at Graybeard Disc Golf. So yeah, and more content Chris, coming soon.
And you've been putting out such great content. I've been loving watching it, and the way you helped us promote this episode, we really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I did a video the other day. I just did a review on the Discraft Joy, and I had to put a little bit in there to apologize to the rest of my Canadian content creators, because it was sunny and gorgeous, and it was dry, and I think even today it was like 13 degrees here today, and I see content creators from all over Canada and everywhere else, even some of the guys down in the States, that they're all throwing in snow, and I'm like, oh, sorry guys, it's another sunny, beautiful day on the West Coast.
That's awesome. And I just want to give you a little shout out and thank you for the Graybeard Disc Golf Mini that I picked up from you at last year's event.
Right back at you.
There you go. That's awesome.
You see it up? Where is it? You can't see it on the camera, but I got that 1010 disc Berg that I won on the wall now.
Let me. Can we see it?
Okay.
No, we can't quite see it. That's okay.
Yes, we can. Where is it? There? There it is.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Nice, looking good.
That's my turbo putt.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. We had a great fun talking about it. I'm sure the whole chat and anyone who's listening is so pumped up for this year's event. And if it's not already filled by now, Jeremy, it won't take long to fill up. So if you haven't signed up, head over to Disc Golf Scene, sign up, select your options. I wanted to go a little bit earlier, wanted to stay the extra day and arrive in a bit early, but I don't think I was able to. But even if you go there for the full weekend, you're going to have an amazing time.
Yeah, and you get any questions or anything, Clay is quick to answer you back, and the supreme leader, and as I think it's noted on Disc Golf Scene, so, or Chance or anyone else, they'll get your questions answered and help you get out there.
Awesome. There you go.
Well,
before we let you go, Disc Golf Field Notes. Just chiming in to say hi. I can't wait to get home tonight and listen to the podcast here because of Graybeard. So there you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I played. That's Chris. I played with him. Actually, Ed, Bruno, your sponsor. We did a little tournament for his birthday. So I played with DG Field Notes. He's another YouTuber as well. Local guy. He's a good dude.
Oh, fantastic.
That's what I like about the community is that everybody knows somebody and we're all connected and we're all out here just having a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's supporting each other and that's what you want. So thanks again, everybody. We'll catch up with you hopefully you guys will all see each other and hopefully I'll get out to the island and get a chance to play with you as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm surprised you haven't asked, Jeremy, because this is normally the question that you always ask, but last year we went out to Ontario to go to Nationals. This year, Nationals is going to be in Alberta, a little bit closer to you. Are any of you planning on heading to Nationals this year?
Oh,
I would like to volunteer. Sorry.
I wish. I'm planning a trip down to visit my son in Phoenix, so I plan to do a bit of disc golfing down there in Arizona when I go see him. So that's going to be my big trip this year.
Bruno, I see you shaking your head as well.
No, I'm not going.
No plans as yet. Okay, I'll take
it. Throw in a few more. I was going to say, throw in a few more, Bruno, and then Soaring Eagle and some other people. They'll get you out there.
Yeah. And then you say you're not going to play, but you might.
I'd like to volunteer. Playing, I think, at that kind of level would just destroy my confidence level in every sort of way. So I would like to watch the people and maybe participate in like the fun stuff afterwards. I could do. Have no problem.
That's what's great about events, is that sort of thing is always available.
Exactly.
Events always want volunteers, and there's always extra fun things to do. So, yeah. There you go. Well, thanks everybody for your time. We will hope to see you later on in the year. And
can't wait to see you guys in June.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Well, Daryl, every now and then an event or a tournament comes along that only one of us can attend. And last year it was this one.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go. And you know what I got to have? I got to have FOMO. That's what I got. I knew I'd missed out. But like after tonight, after listening to people who were actually there, not just you, who might have been bigging it up and just trying to rub it in, but like, it sounded like, I know this, we're doing our part to promote events like this, like we always do with Canadian disc golf, but you could just tell this is just natural joy and fun that everybody had at this event last year.
Yeah, exactly. You've got people like Chris, who's played the course, several times, will still like to go back there because of the camp counselors, I don't want to call them counselors. What's the word I'm looking for? Instructors. The coaches. Yeah. That's the better word. That you've got Bruno as a junior getting out there. Whether he's played the course multiple times or once or twice before, I'm not sure, but just taking in that whole experience. Sonja, a beginner disc golfer, getting out there, heading out to, she's saying that she doesn't like to go to these events because it may be above her level, but getting out there to learn more and just participate in the whole event. I went out there, mainly because I just wanted to see Nate Sexton and meet the pros and get signed discs, because, that's what I like to do. And I like to put them on the wall behind me. But, everything else as well, the chumps versus chumps, everything there, it had something for everybody. And I don't think anybody would ever say, it was okay. I didn't, there was nothing really there for me. I was kind of bored or anything like that. Like any part of the whole weekend was enjoyed by everybody, I think.
Yeah. And I have it on my list, of course, of one of the places to go for sure. The only thing I did a little bit, which I didn't know ahead of time there, was I committed to Tournament Capital Open this year early because I wanted to go back. That was my first A tier I ever played. Yeah. I wanted to play it again. And then I found out that unfortunately it's the same weekend as Smith Lake Disc Golf clinic. And so, but I understand from Clea and Carrie, the two organizers, they said, don't worry guys, next year it's going to be on different dates so both of them can attend the other's events. So exactly. So next year I'll be ready. And by that time, I don't even know, it's probably going to be like Falcon's Flight where you got to register as soon as it opens, or otherwise you're not going to get in.
And that's the good thing, right? When we said the one that I attended was the second year. The first year we had Thomas on last time speaking about the food and everything that went on with him and putting the marker out for the distance that he hit and see if you can outdrive Thomas on that sort of thing. This will be the third year of it running. You're not going to miss out. Next year, it'll still happen. It'll happen again next year. There's still going to be an event next year and you'll still be able to attend. Dina in the chat saying that TCO was her first A tier as well, and I think we may have. Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think we.
I seem to think that has come up before, but maybe not.
No, that's awesome. So maybe she needs to come back, and we can celebrate our our second time there.
I need to speak to you a little bit later, but Dina is going to TCO again this year, so I was gonna kind of put the message out there so you'd be able to meet up, and that she's going to TCO, and I'll be heading out to Smith Lake.
Well, for everyone else who's still in the chat there, it's that time of the show where we want a secret word. So why don't you let us know about that? And while they're putting the secret word in the comments and putting in an idea, the other thing I just want to say that I took away that I didn't know until tonight was a brand new piece of information. There was a lot of it, but one of the ones for me was that they marked the spot where Bruno threw the disc in from.
Yeah.
I think that is so cool because that really, looking on the video, and maybe not the one that we tried to watch during the podcast, but going back to it afterwards and watching it, it's like you're like, oh yeah, it looks far, but it looks like there's actually some space between those trees. But I think if you're standing right there and the exact spot he did it, that's pretty cool. How many shots do you think it would take you to put it in from that spot?
Well, let's think. I'm taking my bag out with me. I don't take my cart, obviously. I take my bag. I think my bag can hold 24, 28 discs. So I'm thinking probably 10 or 15 times I'm emptying my bag. So 10 or 15 times 28. I don't know. You do the math.
I can't even calculate that high. So it'd be a while is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of cool that I know, like I said, the next day there was kind of a sheet of paper with some spikes put in the ground. Can you throw in like Bruno, or can you match Bruno's shot? Like it was just kind of like, oh, that was where it was yesterday. But to now know that, obviously he must have got some sort of, hardwood sign, or they must have done it on a piece of wood or a plaque on a tree or something. Yeah. Like he put the stone and painted the stone and put it on the ground or something like that to immortalize it forever. Because if you haven't watched it, and like you said, it was a little bit hard to watch that clip on the podcast. If you kind of didn't get it, if anything didn't happen, go back, and I really encourage you to go back and watch it just to hear the scream from Nate Sexton. It was like that was one of the best shots ever thrown on Champs versus Chumps.
It was definitely. So what's it look like? Did we get some secret word suggestions?
We do. We have train whistle, but I think that was something that if you know, you know. We've got camp counselor.
Okay. I think we could have fun with that.
one thing that came to my mind was, instead of the obvious, I think we do talk about Bruno. See what I did there? Yeah. We've got Camp from Greybeard. He also says watching Thomas throw bombs is amazing. And I think I may have said this to you, like you watch him on coverage. We watch Park Pro, watch him on whatever event whatever coverage he's on. You watch him throw. He's got the best huck face. We know this. The guy can bomb. Everyone knows that he's got one of the longest drives in disc golf. He's obviously normally always in the top 3, top 5 at the long drive competitions and things like that. But to experience it when you're standing right beside him, and he'll pull out a disc and he'll be like, this is my Flippy Destroyer. And then he'll hold, I'll see if I can clear the fence. And you're looking at the fence and you're thinking, how are you ever going to clear that fence? And then he just reefs on this disc and it soars and it flips over and it's got the perfect turn. And it's just so amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And you know what? That was the thing too, Daryl. That first TCO that I went, I had an inkling. I knew that he was a name to watch. This long before the podcast, long before anything else. And same kind of thing. I was standing on a fairway halfway up going, nobody's going to throw this far. And I was literally halfway through his flight is where I was standing.
You're thinking this Thomas Gilbert guy, he's got an arm on him. He could go far.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So we've got camp. We do talk about Bruno. Camp counselor. Obviously, we can do stuff with. Train whistle. Oh, I was going to say love cam loops, but that's what Dina said about TCO.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know how much you love the secret word. Why don't you pick this one? What one are you going with?
You know what? Sonja likes camp counselor. Sam put out camp counselor. Greybeard said camp. Any combination of that. Put the words camp counselor in the chat. In the comments. Sorry, in the comments, not in the chat. Put it in the comments. And then that way we'll know you listened all the way through to the end of the episode.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that if you're at this point. And do us a favor, and you can continue to help support this podcast. Keep helping us grow. Jump onto YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I think you're used to that chant by now, and we really appreciate it. It helps the podcast grow, and it helps us doing more giveaways like the 500 subscriber that we're just about to do. Also, you can head over to our Patreon, and if you want to support us even more, that's a way to do it. You can join at many levels. There's paid levels. You can join at free as well. It supports and helps us cover our costs. You can also be entered free into all our contests if you're a paid member. So there's other benefits and bonuses to it there, including getting access to Around the Basket, where you go over there. The link is there. We do more disc golf talk. You can interact with us. We talk with the chat. You help direct the conversation. We have some fun. And tonight, Daryl, what are we doing?
Oh, of course, Jeremy. We're bringing back the good old favorite. It's been missing a few weeks, but people love it. We're going to be doing an episode of Silhouette.
Scylla who?
So, if you don't know what it is,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know what it is, head over to Patreon and you can join in the fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Daryl. And you heard it last week. Everybody said it in the comments. These rhymes at the end are not going anywhere.
Did they?
The people have spoken.
Hang on. Sorry, Jeremy, you're breaking up. I think we're losing it again.
All right.
Well,
are you on board?
Okay, I'm on board. Are you ready? Is the chat ready? That's what I want to know. Okay.
I think so.
From Vancouver Island sunshine to campfire nights.
Smith Lake Farm summer camp vibes just right.
Graybeard brought the wisdom. Sonja brought the spark.
Bruno stole the show. His throw was oh so sharp.
From Alders Beach mornings to Sexton's putting stress.
Coaches laughs and learning. Yeah, this camp is the best.
If you're on the fence now, there is no doubt.
Book the trip, pack the discs, and we hope you don't.
Chain
out.
Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you in a few minutes on Around the Basket.